but then you're afraid of the judgment if you're on Seeking, because even though it's a more traditional role that a couple plays, a man is the provider to the woman. It's a very traditional role. Why is it so taboo?
And I love it because even to this day, is so good. He takes me out to very nice dinners. Mm-hmm. He buys me nice jewelry. Thank you, baby. He takes me on trips. He pays for things. I do feel like because our relationship started off on that foot, that tradition has kind of continued with us, which again, I'm very appreciative of.
Welcome to Secrets of a Sugar Daddy. Here's your host, Marcus.
Welcome to another episode of Secrets of a Sugar Daddy, the #1 sugar dating podcast in the world, where we pull back the curtains on the good and the bad. And Lily,
the Western,
the shocking stories of sugar dating.
Some of them involve getting Western.
Where are you going with this?
There's 2 things I want to talk about that deal with country Western.
Really?
Yes. The first one is I'm headed to Nashville.
Oh, that's right.
On Sunday. And the second one is...
Yeah.
No, I'll tell you the second one after you tell me.
But first, we're going to a fun concert.
Oh, yes.
This is the concert that I was going to host Sugarpalooza IV, but it was too damn expensive, and I think we end up choosing the right one anyway with Hootie and the Blowfish. But I'm excited about seeing Journey, Def Leppard, and then opening is the Steve Miller Band, too. Mm-hmm. Classic hits.
Yeah.
One after another. It's going to be a banger.
So she almost piped in. So the second Western thing is... Somebody's got some sexy boots, Western boots, and it's not Lily this time.
Yeah, we've got an old friend in the house. We'll bring her in a second because we got some business to take care of. She's just so
ready.
Anxious to jump in, but you're going to love our guest today. Anyway, Sugarpalooza 5 is now open accepting applications. Lily, I don't know. I want to call it Shakira-palooza, but then, we got the whole Sugarpalooza thing going on.
It's both.
Yeah, so it's both. So if you hear Shakira-palooza or Sugarpalooza 5, same thing. Exciting concert coming up November 6th, 7th, and 8th. Again, we're having the podcast party. Come party with the crew. You're going to get 3 days, 2 nights of accommodations. We're going to have a mixer, pre-party at my house, which is a lot of fun. Another party bus to and from Footprint Arena. We got 1 private suite. We're working on a second, so stay tuned. But we got 1 private suite as of today. Food, drinks, party bus home, brunch the next day. Structured almost exactly like our other parties because I think that's a pretty good way to do it. Everybody seemed to enjoy it.
It's been successful.
Yeah, so why mess with it, huh?
Right.
Everybody has such a great time. Now, if you want to apply, you need to get on it now because it's going to come up pretty quickly and applications will close in October, which, we're getting really close. Football season's here. I'm getting excited. But go to our website at secretsofasugardaddy.com. There's a party tab. I also will include the link at the bottom of this episode, and it's on our website. But fill out the application. It's very short survey style. It's a lot of fun. Send us a video. It's quick and easy. And maybe you'll get to come party with us. We are even giving away a few limited airfare reimbursements, or we're going to fly a few out there. So it will cost you nothing. It's all being sponsored by the Sugar Daddies. Now, Sugar Daddies, we don't have enough. We always have so many girls, and they're always like, where are all the rest of the Sugar Daddies, right? So come join us. We had a 3-to-1 ratio last time. It was amazing. You have a lot of fun. You're going to meet a lot of great people, men and women, from all over the U.S., even out of the country. And if you want more information on how you can become a sponsor of the party and attend with us, go to the website and fill out the contact us form, or it's info@secretsofasugardaddy.com.
Okay, clarification.
Yeah.
The sugar daddies do not have to do the application per se.
Right,
They just need to get a hold of us.
Yeah.
You don't have to make a cute little video, sugar daddies.
Yeah. We've had a couple do that, which was kind of funny. Now, if you are a Patreon member, and it's free to become a Patreon member, you will get moved up in the line when it comes to judging.
You get
over the public.
priority.
Absolutely. Patreon is a lot of fun. We've got a great community chat there. We are posting lots of behind the scenes videos, pictures that you will not see anywhere else. We do not post this on our website, on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, nothing, only on Patreon. So you'll want to get those exclusive behind the scenes access. Our tiers start at as little as $10 a month, and then they go up from there. We've got some coaching and profile reviews. And I'm telling you what, the coaching and profile reviews is well worth it. It's very cheap. And I mean, if you're going to be successful in this sugar dating lifestyle, besides going through all of our podcasts and gathering the nuggets of information, I mean, we can just do some one-on-one coaching for you and help you with your profile so you can find what you're looking for. I am active on Seeking, and I'm telling you what, it's a wild world out there. Alejandra is also active, and she's showing me the messages she's getting and the way the guys are approaching her. She's a great person to go out with, but some of these messages are so bad. The profiles are so bad. She just, no, I'm on to the next one. So if you really want to get the quality women and you're not getting them, then contact us and we'll help you. All right. Anything else, Lily?
I don't think so.
All right. So we've got an old friend. Still to this day, her very first episode, episode 9, is absolutely one of my all-time favorite episodes. If you have not heard it, I suggest you go back and listen to it. Or if you've heard it already, go back and refresh your memory. But welcome back to the show, my former co-host and still good friend, Angie. I almost called you a different name. It's been too long.
I know.
So have you been back in this part of the studio yet?
Yes.
Yeah.
I was here last year.
That's right. I remember. Yeah, we're at Pod Populi in Old Town Scottsdale and recording the show. And we've got not only Angie, but then we've got Eric with her. And Eric was introduced to us in Sugarpalooza IV.
Yes.
Yeah, you came and you guys had some fun, and then for one night, and then we didn't see you the rest of the time because maybe we overdid it a little bit. But this last party, you guys made the whole shoot and shebang.
Yeah, well, we had to learn how to pace ourselves.
Yeah, that's an important thing. And I warned people, do not go all out, balls to the wall on Friday night.
Yeah, it's a full 3-day event.
A lot of fun.
I feel like these guys have more fun than most at the Sugarpaloozas. Mm-hmm. They always find a hot chick to hook up with.
Yeah, how's that happen?
I like hot chicks.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm generally good at getting what I like.
Yeah. We have a picture of you.
Yes.
The hot chicks.
Always.
Yeah.
Well, on our Patreon, we have a picture of Angie kind of making out with a hot chick on the balcony at the W.
Alexa.
Have you not seen that?
Yeah, she's actually one of our favorites. We play with her.
Mm-hmm.
Regularly. Thank God.
It's fun. We like her. We actually met her at the last Sugarpalooza.
Yeah.
That's how we met her.
Yeah, she's really interesting. She's a little bit older, and she's 5 foot nothing. Probably doesn't even weigh 100 pounds.
Yeah.
I would imagine.
She's a fiery
tiny.
little.
Yeah.
She's a fiery little thing.
So that was cool. So you met her at the party.
I did.
Yeah, and here it is a year later, and you guys are still really good friends.
Yep.
Yeah.
And she came to the most recent Sugarpalooza with us.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, she came with you?
Well, no, she was invited by you.
Oh, okay.
But
Isn't that where you first met her, though?
Yeah.
At Sugarpalooza 4.
With the Ricky Martin Pitbull.
Yeah, so it hasn't been
at 3.
It hasn't been a year.
Well, it's coming up in November. It's only a couple months away.
It's been about a year.
Gosh, time flies.
Oh, it does
I'm
fly.
still recuperating from that party.
We have to do something for her for our anniversary.
Yeah.
I agree.
All right, so
It's been a year.
you brought Eric to the party, the first one, and that was our first introduction. How did you guys meet?
Yeah, we met on the site.
Uh-huh.
She stood out because she was wearing some leather bondage equipment.
Oh, yeah. I do remember those photos.
Okay, you know what's crazy?
What?
You can't post those on Seeking anymore.
You can if you do it correctly.
Yeah.
How do you do it correctly? The girls want to know.
Well, I had a collar on and some cuffs, but I wasn't overly explicit with what was showing on my body. So I think it passed their little I don't know.
Their filter.
Yeah, I mean, I think I haven't been on my profile for a hot minute, but I think they're probably still
Up and
in my
posted.
pictures.
Well, I know Seeking is always changing, always evolving. I've seen some things that Alejandra and the guys have talked about and their messages about PPM and allowance and numbers and this and that. I told her, I said, you better be careful because that'll get you banned, but it hasn't. So I don't know.
Yeah, I think the site is like kind of forever evolving.
Well, I know Brandon Wade stepped back in the picture. He stepped away, let somebody else run it. Mm-hmm. And then I don't think it was going as well as he wanted.
I wonder if it'll change, if it'll go a little back to like the old school.
I don't think
Or if it's
so.
going to stay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think they're too worried about legalities.
Yeah. We can't just all be adults and adult ourselves.
So, Eric, you saw this bondage picture of Angie and you were like, you got your attention, huh?
Yeah, it didn't look that much different than some of the other pictures, but definitely caught my eye. And we then agreed to meet up at, I believe it was a Black Rock coffee place.
Thank you, Black Rock.
So you guys just did coffee as the first meet and greet? Okay.
Yeah, it was I believe it was a Tuesday, and we sat down and just right away, I was really surprised at how much sugar she put in her coffee.
She likes sugar.
Pour some sugar
Very
on me.
sweet.
But then my second impression of her, she was really, really smart, really lively, a little ball of fire. And we started talking about science and dragons and just great.
Dragons. No, it was lions. There were tigers everywhere.
Yeah.
Do you remember?
Yeah.
It was when I was dealing with the guy who, remember, I think we talked about it briefly, but you know who I'm talking about. Our stalker.
Yeah.
So my voice is just really crackly today, so I apologize. But we were talking about our stalker that had just happened. And so I actually almost did not agree to meet up with him because I thought everyone was my stalker.
Yeah.
And so
Well, he was really good at starting fake profiles and fake phone numbers. And
so
he was
odd and
intense.
scary. I know.
So as I'm on Seeking right now, girls are still giving me their real phone numbers, which comes up with their address, their email, their family names.
Yeah, don't.
It's so much
Especially
info,
not your
their
phone
birthday.
number.
And you've experienced a stalker. Lily has experienced it. Amy is the same guy. Amy experienced
Yes.
it. I mean, Amy's literally had people walk into her house unannounced.
Oh my gosh.
Goodness.
Yeah.
You've met
So-
Amy, her and her fiance.
Yes.
From Sugarpalooza. That's
Absolutely.
Amy. Yeah, especially with your real phone number because it's attached to most of your social media accounts, and it will then pop you up in their
And it's getting more and
suggested
more
friends
accurate.
lists, etc. And it's getting so easy.
Yeah, so I go into my
track.
Facebook or my Instagram and I'll go, hey, here's some people we think you know. And I'm like, holy fuck.
Exact.
Is that happening for them also? Are they seeing me? Because I don't want them to see my personal accounts.
I would say
Not immediately.
Yeah. I would
don't
say yes.
Think if you didn't give them your real phone number, no.
But then sometimes when I search somebody, I'll search their name and I'll see them in Facebook. And I'm like, oh, this is that person. Then they'll start popping up as a suggested friend. And I'm like wondering, does it vice versa send them my pictures? Like, hey, you might know this guy.
Oh, maybe.
I don't know.
See, that's scary to me.
Yeah. Well, and not everyone is proactive in turning off their locations on certain apps or what, however you have everything set up. And if they have your phone number and you have certain locations activated or whatnot, I know like Snapchat aren't there. I keep my locations off because
I do
it's
too.
just a safety issue for me. But I think like Snapchat and Instagram, certain apps, like you can just click on the person's name and literally go find them.
Yeah, I know you used to do that with Facebook because with the nearby friends, they turned that off.
Did they?
Because back in 2016, 2017, my very first sugar baby, she was, well, we've talked about this, she was hooked on pain medication. And when she'd run out, she would be buying it off the streets. And I could see her location on Facebook
Of where she was
change.
going.
It would tell me how far away she was from me, and it would tell me what part of town she was in. I mean, it was scary. So I actually could track her. One time it said she was up in Sunny Slope. And I'm like, there is no reason for you to be in Sunny Slope
She was
at 3 a.m.
she was getting some happiness.
Well,
Little son.
she had this addiction. Now, thankfully, we were able to get her some help and she's now off of it. But it was a scary time, but that's
Yeah.
how I tracked her, was just through Facebook.
Well, and there's also a ton of apps now that if you even just have somebody's phone number and their actual name, you can go and do their background check. You can find out like what their last however many addresses, if they're divorced, if they're married, what their family members' names are. And there's a lot of websites out there that are like people finder websites that you can get a lot of information with minimal information off of.
Right.
So, moral of the story,
Yeah.
don't use your real name and don't use your real phone number.
Not in the beginning.
Or at least not your entire name.
Yeah. Yeah. Now, if you have a generic name like Mary or
Lily.
Lily.
I don't think Eric started using my real phone number until about a year ago.
Really?
He had my fake for a good solid, remember?
Really doesn't make a difference, does it?
You know, and it
I
doesn't.
just meant I'm that careful and I get stuck on using like a fake number with somebody.
Well,
from
I
the
told this
get-go.
story. There was a girl, and I could tell she wasn't a fake profile on Seeking. And she specifically said, if your texts are green, I will not communicate with you.
Yeah, tough shit.
All right, you're stupid because you're missing out on a
All
lot
my
of great
texts are green
people.
because I'm not using my real phone number to
Yeah,
text you.
I'm
so.
using Google Voice. Matter of fact, somebody I met last night, we had this little miscommunication on when we were supposed to meet. She goes, oh, sorry, I'm using Google for safety reasons. And for some reason, I wasn't getting my notifications. It's not a perfect app, but I said, you are very smart for doing that. I get it.
Yeah,
And I complimented her for not using her real phone number. And she was like, oh, thank you. Because I can't believe girls are out there doing that. I'm like, they are.
Yeah, so are men. I mean, I think everybody just needs to be aware. It's free to get a text now number or
free.
a text free. Like
Yeah,
it's
it's free.
100% free. And it works great. It's a local number. Be safe. Be smart.
You're listening to Secrets of a Sugar Daddy. Now back to the show with your host, Marcus.
Okay, so you guys met on Seeking how long ago?
For those in recovery, support from friends and family often leads to better outcomes. Here's to those who are essential to helping people find their path to recovery. Visit cdc.gov/stop-overdose for information about treatment options and how to support those experiencing addiction.
Go.
It's been over 2 years.
Yeah, 2 years and just over 3 months.
Wow.
Wow.
Aw, you cutie pie.
So relationships do happen on Seeking.
Yeah. And I was very vehemently, I don't want to be in a relationship.
Of course. That's when they happen.
I was very outspoken about it. I was very happy with my independent little life I had going on, but he
He won you over.
just swept me right
Yeah,
out.
but you guys are in a relationship style that still allows you freedom,
Yes.
which I think that's what makes it work.
100%. I think some of the most beautiful things that I learned off of sugar dating was because remember when I started sugar dating, I definitely did not have a lot of sexual experience because of my background. And so I really got to explore, learned that I'm definitely very much bisexual. I very much like women. That's a huge part of me. So I knew going into a potential relationship that was something that my partner was going to also have to be okay with. I don't mind sharing and prefer it. So lucky for Eric.
Very lucky guy.
But he was very open to that. And so our relationship outside of now being on Seeking has definitely continued to carry that with it. So we're a lot more open than most couples for sure, I think.
I have questions for Eric. So have you been married?
No, never.
Never married? No kids?
No kids.
Wow. And are you also bisexual?
No.
Okay. So you're heterosexual, but you love the threesomes. Have
Yeah.
you guys done more than a threesome?
Have we?
I feel like we have.
We've had relations next to other people having relations.
Yeah.
That's true. This is true.
Now, Eric, how old are you?
48.
48. And Angie, where are you at now?
I'm 47.
Okay. So you guys are very close.
Yeah.
You're 47? How'd that happen?
I don't know. Well, I mean, I should have picked a lower number.
But how do you look 37?
yeah.
And I love you so much more for that. Now that I'm not on Seeking and now that like we're in an actual relationship, we definitely fall into the more open lifestyle. You know, we go to some different clubs and different things where it's a much more open relationship style. We thrive in that environment. It's a lot of fun for both of us. So that's been really good. And I don't know that we would have found that nearly as easily if we hadn't met through seeking, because it just allowed us, again, to be so open with what we wanted sexually in a relationship.
Yeah, absolutely. And even in the beginning, it was a little more, I guess, flexible versus when you start getting to a normal relationship. We spoke, I think, maybe just once or twice, a few times a week for the first 6 months or so.
Yeah, I think we still kind of do that.
Well, I don't think we still kind of do that.
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. It was definitely it was definitely a very relaxed beginning to a relationship. There weren't a lot of rules or expectations. We just really allowed our connection to carry us without overthinking so much as a lot of people do when going into a new relationship. And I think that really worked well for us.
Yeah, it really gives you a lot of room to breathe without being stifled, and kind of lets the relationship kind of nourish without, getting scared off.
Aw.
Which is nice.
I've brought that up so many times. And as a matter of fact, in the conversation I had last night with the person I met, we were talking about the dynamics of seeking. And I said, that's why so many relationships are happening. People can tell me all day long, oh, this is just disguised prostitution. You can call what it wants. I'm like, why are real relationships happening? Here's why. There's no pressure to be in one. So you're not letting those little things sway you away from that person immediately. Like, yeah, I don't think I could put up with that for the rest of my life. Or I don't see this person being introduced to my family or friends. But you take all that off because that doesn't matter. You're just out having a great time, enjoying each other's company. You let those things slide. And then you start getting to know each other organically. And then you're like, wait a minute, I really kind of like this person.
Yeah.
And it allows you the freedom to grow into a relationship instead of, like on the other sides, almost feeling like this is an interview for a relationship.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or for a marriage.
Or for a marriage. Right. Exactly.
So would you guys label your relationship ethically non-monogamous?
No.
Tell me
Maybe.
why.
So our preference right now is anytime. Well, yes, no. We don't have a label. It's whatever we both feel really comfortable and safe with. Like I went on a trip recently about 2 weeks ago, and I was gone for almost a week. And so and went out and played together and had a great night
Alexa?
together.
And Eric.
So Alexa and Eric went out together while I was gone, and they had a really fabulous time. They would send me sexy pictures and little updates and stuff, and it was so cute. Absolutely don't mind that. For me, as long as I know what's going on and we've communicated about it and I'm good with it, then that's fine. I don't really have a huge desire to be with other men. That's just not something, for me, it's more about being able to include other women in our sex life and for me to have really close friendships with them. So we're just very go with the flow. If a situation comes up and we're not comfortable, we immediately talk about it, assess it, decide, yes, this feels okay about this, or no, this doesn't feel okay. And we just really respect one another's space and boundaries. And
Has there been situations come up?
there was
like
one
that?
at the club, if you want to tell the story. Do you remember the couple we kind of played with? There's been a few.
With the slapping.
No. That was Alexa. That was a different one, but that one's an interesting story too.
We got time.
So there was a couple that Eric and I started playing with at the club that we go to, which is amazing. If anybody, I'm sure they wouldn't care if we shared their information.
Is it the Sweet Spot?
We love the Sweet Spot.
Formerly known as the Hive.
Oh, Lily's
It
been
is-
there.
It is. I don't know if you've been there recently.
I have not been to it since they relabeled and rebranded.
The crowd there is the most across the board, very sexy young people, hot older people, all ethnicities, all styles. It's very respectful. It's exceptionally clean in that environment. It's good vibes all the way around. 10 out of 10 recommend the Sweet
Is it
Spot.
still at the location in Mesa? Mm-hmm. Okay.
But we met a couple there, and I was really into the girl, and we kind of wanted to play together. But I had never been with another man in front of. So the man asked if it was okay if he kissed me.
In front of Eric.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
It's okay.
So Eric and I had never been with another couple where I was with the man. And so the man asked Eric if he could kiss me, and Eric gave permission, which was so great. And I did kiss the man, and I enjoyed it, but it just wasn't quite something he was comfortable with. And he would have preferred, like, if we played in separate rooms. So
He would have been cool with it if
he
he
had to, like, watch
wasn't
it.
visualizing it.
right,
Yeah.
exactly. Go ahead.
I understand that.
Yeah, I don't know how I
completely.
would. I don't know how I would feel.
Whereas I'm all
I haven't been
in. I
in
like
that
to watch.
situation.
I like to give instruction. I like to be the boss of the whole little thing. But I like women, and of course isn't. Eric is attracted to men, so it's a different.
Dynamic.
But
Yeah. I
we
could
handled
see.
it. We all just had a quick conversation of what that couple was comfortable with. They weren't comfortable with separate play or room play, but that's kind of what we would have wanted in that situation. So we just all kind of talked a little bit longer and then moved along.
Yeah, from my perspective, it was something I wanted to try for the first time. I wasn't sure if I'd be comfortable with it, but I know that Angie was comfortable with it. So I started paying attention to the guy's girl. And then from the corner of my eye, I saw Angie and the guy, and I just kept kind of focusing on that. And then I sort of lost attention in the girl that I was with.
Aw, that's
And,
actually super sweet.
I'm like, yeah, we should have a little talk. So it was a little embarrassing.
worked-
My face was a little red, but
Oh, no,
but,
that's
what
silly.
do you do?
Interesting.
Hey, you
Embarrassed.
tried and you discovered
Yeah.
something,
Yeah.
and now you know.
Like, how lucky am I to have a guy that is like, yeah, we could try this and we'll just see how it goes. You know, there wasn't any.
Yeah,
jealousy or anger.
there's been other situations there to where I wasn't as abrupt. I remember one time you and I were playing with another couple in a room, and the gentleman put his hand on my back,
This is such a cute story.
and right when that happened, my eyes just slammed wide open, and I didn't say anything for about 10 seconds.
You should have seen his face. Right
Deer in
now.
the headlights right now.
And then he's like, "Is that okay?" I'm like, "Nope." We took it off, and we're all good.
I would have been the same way. Yeah.
But we did have a really great time with that couple because her and I played a lot and they were really good about asking permission. And I believe that like he was fucking her, was fucking me, and then her and I were doing things. And that was a really fun, engaging way to play with a couple. That was fun. We need to message them.
So, how often do you guys visit this place?
We have our own seats there.
Yeah.
Our name is like
We have
stamped.
thrones.
When you guys walk in, it's like Norm. You know, like from Cheers. They're like,
It's so great.
They know you.
It's just been a really fun experience to be around. But I would never be in a relationship like this, and I would not be having this much fun or be in this healthy and open of a relationship if it hadn't been for my experience in seeking and learning to really become comfortable and in control of my sexuality. And I had such a beautiful place to do that. Then I met a man who had a much more open-minded, idea of what sex was in a relationship, which suits me just fine.
Thank you. baby.
I'm just curious, what's something like that cost to participate?
$99 a month.
Is that what it is?
Yes, and every Saturday is
a bargain.
It's a theme night, so you get to dress up, fun little costumes.
And you could just pay the nightly fee. Like if you're only the person
Yes.
that goes once every 6 months, you can just pay the nightly fee. But I don't remember how much it was. Maybe like
It's like $20, 10 or 20.
something,
You
something
cannot
like that.
go if you're a single man, though. You
Yeah, that's
have
pretty
to have
typical.
a woman with you, which is great.
Actually, they just changed the rule to where the two of you could take a single man with you.
Oh, okay.
You can come as a single man
Okay.
if you come with a couple.
Well, which would make sense.
Yeah.
So you two could bring Marcus along.
I like that.
Yeah.
That's actually really cool. I did not do
But
that, I like
Marcus
it.
cannot go by himself.
No.
Yeah, right.
And it's very clean. They have lots of little rooms.
Playrooms.
They do have tons of playrooms. As soon as a couple or a group leave a playroom, they have room cleaners that
They
go in.
immediately sanitize.
Yeah, everything.
I
the
get a
bedding.
lot
So
of,
nice.
when we get applications in for the party, one of the questions is, what are some topics you'd like us to cover? And I get an overwhelming amount of STI comments. Like, how do you deal with the STD stuff in dating? How do they deal with it there?
So I will say, because everyone in that group knows that you're probably having sex with a lot of people, condoms are almost just assumed. Testing is very, in the lifestyle, it's different. People play by a little bit more mature set of rules. And I don't say that as a slam to seeking, but in seeking, people are just doing it from like at a personal level. So their focus is themselves and what they're getting out of their arrangements. In the lifestyle, you're much more aware there are other partners fully involved in different faceted ways. So you're just a little bit more conscious of it.
So I never actually got to the level of intimacy at the Hive. Of course, I haven't been to the Sweet Spot yet. Do they have condoms available?
Oh, yeah.
I would think they would be in all of the playrooms and maybe in the
Every
lounge.
playroom has a variety of different types of lube, condoms, things that you might need, wipes.
Now, my problem is I'm fine using a condom. I'm perfectly acceptable doing that. I just can't maintain an erection for very long. Mm-hmm. Eric, do you ever encounter that, or are you good there?
No, it's very difficult. But I use pharmaceuticals to help with that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I talked to a telehealth
Isn't
specialist.
that so great now?
Yeah, it is.
Got a prescription and had the pills, and they're great.
Yeah, we all like those.
What's your pharmaceutical of choice?
It's
Did you use Hims?
Cialis.
Cialis.
Oh,
yeah.
I thought you meant telehealth company of choice. You like Cialis?
Yeah, Cialis. I tried Viagra, but Viagra makes me sweat, and it just isn't as powerful. Cialis, you just take a little bit. Wow.
So how long does it take for that to kick in?
Maybe 4 hours.
Does it really?
And the first, honestly, the first maybe 6 hours, you have anxiety.
Really?
Right? And it just kind of a weird feeling. And then it levels out. Like the next day is great. But
So it lasts longer. I'm learning so much here. We need to have more conversations about this. This is
Absolutely.
fantastic. So when you take Cialis, it doesn't work immediately. So you have to that's
that's the
okay.
problem.
Pre-game.
It. But then it continues working the whole next day.
Yeah, absolutely. Even a couple of days later. One time I was...
So tomorrow at noon, I can drop us in your... I'll have you for 48 hours.
Well, it hasn't been your first rodeo. It's definitely very long lasting. I remember one time I took one, and then maybe a couple days later, I was at Scottsdale Gun Club looking at guns. And I asked the guy to show me a gun. I started getting an erection. This is too powerful.
I know some guys that
sexy
does
gun.
it for them. They get all hot and bothered over guns.
That's so cute.
So when you take this medication, it works for days. It can have an effect on you for days.
Absolutely, days.
Now, you said that you don't take a whole pill, though. How much do you usually take then?
Oh, well, so about half a pill on, I say, Friday, early afternoon. And then maybe if we're going to have a crazy Saturday night, I'll take another half a pill Saturday afternoon.
Okay.
But I probably don't need it, but, I'd rather have it than...
Better safe than sorry.
I knew that he had it, especially because being in a more open lifestyle, sometimes those situations, you need a little help because you get in your head.
Oh, absolutely.
And you don't want to always rely on like alcohol or weed or whatever to try to keep you there. You want to be a little more present. So I love, and I know that you had the medication. I just never bothered to ask you, like,
How does it work?
all these great questions that they're asking. This is so interesting to me.
Well, it's different because in a relationship, there's buildup. A girl might not want you to be with her for 3 weeks, 4 weeks, 4 days, whatever that, So there's the buildup. You built the emotional connection there. I mean, there's a sensual connection as well. To whereas in the sugar lifestyle, it's more, I guess, of an immediate gratification.
Right.
Would you agree?
For some people, it is.
Yeah. For some
Yeah.
people, yes.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm pro Cialis. That's all I'm saying.
I've never
Cialis should
tried it
sponsor
because
you.
I've never had a problem getting erect. It's just when I put the condoms on, I just can't. So I'm trying to figure out a solution for that. I've tried different sizes, different things. It just cuts off my blood circulation.
Is that what it is?
And then I have no feeling. And then I was like,
sometimes
yeah,
I think it's just like that act too of having to stop what you're doing and then your head, it almost has to like switch channels, right?
And
so
put the condom on
yeah.
when things are
But
getting hot and
I've
heavy.
had certain partners where they were just able to stimulate me in ways that I did not lose the erection, even with a condom on. So it takes a special person.
You're listening to Secrets of a Sugar Daddy. Now back to the show with your host, Marcus.
Okay, last episode we talked about the female condom. And
that's
so
right.
I
We
went and
forgot about
Googled
that.
that. I tried
In life and recovery, every day is a little different. Embrace the good days, the not so good days, and the challenges, and acknowledge how you overcame them. Find the path to recovery that works for you. Learn more at cdc.gov/stopoverdose.
to buy one on Amazon. I couldn't find it because I thought, well, we
They look
talked
so
about
awkward.
it. I would like to report.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I thought we would try
I
it.
know Amy
but
has used
I can't
those.
even find it.
Really?
You've never used one?
No, not a female.
Mm-hmm.
No.
I'm I'm so curious as to like how it even works.
That seems like that would be a better solution because then it's not restricting the circulation of a male.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's a better solution for males.
Is it? Yeah.
And I don't know if it would deaden sensation for a woman. That's why I wanted to try it and report back, but I can't even figure out where to purchase them.
Well, you got to think it'd be about the same, whether the man
Maybe I
wears it or
could
the
go
woman wears
to the Groove or Fascinations. I wonder if they carry them. Maybe.
it. I don't know.
I just looked on Amazon. I could do
Yeah.
a better job researching them on Google.
So, Eric, are you still on Seeking?
No, I'm not.
No, you're not on Seeking.
How long were you on Seeking before you met the gorgeous Angie?
Oh, I want to say maybe 6 to 9 months.
And what kind of shenanigans did you get involved with? Anything crazy?
She's shaking her head. Oh, yeah.
Let's hear it.
Well, the correct answer is no.
That's not true.
Angie says differently. She's heard some juicy stories.
You had a couple.
Oh, I feel you're kind of fishing there, but
Refresh his memory.
I mean, I don't know. You didn't have any super crazy stories. You'd met a couple girls that you liked.
yeah. I met him. First date was hiking.
Your first date was a hiking date?
Yeah. Yeah, for both of them.
Whose idea was that?
My idea.
You could have been a serial killer. These are brave women.
Well, no, it was a very popular hiking spot.
Oh,
Yeah, heavily populated.
Okay,
So
then.
I think it's probably pretty safe.
No jaguars.
Yeah, no jaguars.
Well, I know a lot of people put in their profiles, I love hiking and blah, blah, blah. But when it actually comes down to it,
Yeah.
do they really?
Yeah.
But anyway, okay.
So went hiking, and then I took each of them. I'll go one at a time. One of them, I don't know, I believe a few dates, and we went to, I think, Prescott for a music fest.
Ooh, that's a great place for a music fest.
Yeah, we did mushrooms,
Oh,
and I believe maybe a few weeks after that, I found her to be a little strange, and I met Angie here. And then
Was she the girl that kicked you out of the hotel room in the morning?
yes.
wait, what happened?
So Eric wakes up a lot in the middle of the night. He's kind of like a food scavenger in the best way possible. This man's metabolism. So he wakes up often throughout the middle of the night to
For a snack?
snacks. He's a snacker, a midnight snacker. But I guess, well, I'll let you tell. It's your story.
Yeah, I just got up a lot, rolled around a lot. It was a new place, unfamiliar area. There was noise outside. And she just kicked me out of bed. She's like, oh, you keep shuffling around, just get out of bed. I'm like, okay.
She's like, can you go for a walk for like an hour or two so I can go back to sleep? And she just made him leave.
I sat outside and I sulked for 2 hours. I got angry.
Poor baby.
Came back and I slammed the door.
This is the learning curve of traveling with a sugar baby and a
Told
sugar
her.
daddy.
Should have told her she's not getting that late checkout now. Get your butt up.
well, I've kind of had similar things because I tend to snore certain times of my life where, I'm just not breathing very well and maybe allergies or something. And then I'll look over and she's gone. Like she's into another room or she's on the floor with the pillow over her head or something, right? It's just, yeah, it's happened to me too. I always feel really bad about that. I get self-conscious about it. And like you, I have a hard time sleeping when I'm with somebody new, especially in an unfamiliar place, because I don't want to disturb them because I know what I'm capable of. Yeah, so I sleep very light.
Yeah.
And it's, it's
I
annoying.
sleep like a rock. So
Yeah.
he can get up a million times and I'm like, yeah, okay, baby, go back to sleep. And I'm fine with it. Thank goodness.
That's
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
Did you ever have any bad experiences on Seeking? Like any crazy chicks, stalker types?
Sounds like he met Angie pretty quick and that was his.
Yeah, no, not really. Not really.
So
No.
I'm going to tell on Eric really quick though. So Eric does not have a background like ours.
Meaning what?
Meaning that you're fine if I share this? I won't name any company names or
No.
anything like that. I'll just keep
go,
it
Go
on.
for it. Share away.
So his degree is in finance tech.
Finance.
So very early on, he got a job for a credit card processing company that was literally the industry leader back in the early 2000s for processing porn charges online
okay.
when it first became available on the internet. So he literally traveled the world. He's been to the Playboy Mansion like 3 times. He's like traveled the world for the porn industry on the finance side of it, but that came with lots and lots of perks and lots of fun stories, which I enjoy listening to so much. So he's had this huge exposure since a relatively very young age to all of this openness regarding sexuality and relationships and all these things. And I think that really put a certain, I don't know, maybe you were born this way, whatever it is.
Like Lady Gaga.
I appreciate it. He came with a lot of experience. That's all.
Okay. I'm curious about your background. Are you from Arizona?
No, I was born in Ukraine. I moved to the U.S. when I was 3 years old.
Okay.
But I've been in Arizona since I was 7. So I've been here a really long time.
A long time.
Do you speak the language?
Almost a native.
I speak a little bit of Russian/Ukrainian.
Yeah.
I've been back a few times, and once you've been back a few times, you pick it up after a week or two. So to where maybe a third of your words are foreign.
Mm-hmm.
His mom definitely.
Yeah.
She calls
very
him.
thick accent.
Have you met his parents?
Oh my God, the best.
Yeah.
I love them. They're the best.
What do they think of you?
His mom definitely thinks I'm Asian, that he's just dating a little Asian girl.
I could see that. Can you see that, right?
Yeah, I
Little
guess.
Asian.
But his mom is super sweet, and she messages me on social media and stuff, and she's just a hoot. His dad is him. You and your dad are a lot of like in a lot of ways. Like he's very witty and charming and really likes to play outside of the box a little bit. You know what I mean? He's a more free thinker.
Yes.
Do they know how
For
you
sure.
guys met?
No, of course not.
Well, I don't know.
Your-
Facebook dating is the story.
Yeah. We
Yeah,
met-
what's your cover?
Yeah. Isn't it everyone's? We met online.
Match.
Mutual friends. Although
Bumble.
I think your dad would probably very much applaud.
Yeah.
You know what's crazy is those other dating sites are certainly perfectly acceptable, but then you're afraid of the judgment if you're on Seeking, because even though it's a more traditional role that a couple plays, a man is the provider to the woman. It's a very traditional role. Why is it so
Yes.
taboo?
And I love it because even to this day, is so good. He takes me out to very nice dinners. Mm-hmm. He buys me nice jewelry. Thank you, baby. He takes me on trips. He pays for things. I do feel like because our relationship started off on that foot, that tradition has kind of continued with us, which again, I'm very appreciative of.
Oh.
So keep it up. Keep up the good work.
So you guys have traveled together quite a bit, or?
Yeah, we've been to Miami.
Denver.
Denver, Mexico a couple of times. Where else have we been?
Northern California.
We did. We went to Carmel. Yeah, I've had.
Do you guys travel well together?
We do everything well together.
Yes, that's true.
Yeah.
We like hardly ever. If we ever fight, it's just me, typical like woman stuff. Like, baby, I don't feel like you're paying quite enough attention to me, or I need more hugs and cuddles and kisses, that kind of stuff. But we don't really disagree about too much.
Here and there.
So it's been a smooth relationship. We did have a rough patch. Remember last year when I came in?
I do remember
I
that.
say
You
that I
felt
was
like
very
things
at the
were a
end.
little bit derailed.
Yeah. I think we did kind of derail a little over a year ago.
What happened?
I don't know. I think the honeymoon phase of the relationship was over. As
Yeah, that happens.
We hadn't really moved into being open in our relationship as far as like moving more into the lifestyle. And I think we were both starting to feel like a little bit of confinement, and our needs weren't necessarily being met. And we had to find a way to like kind of communicate through that and open up other channels in our relationship to have fun and experiment and explore. And so we've since figured out a way to do that.
Yeah.
You can add at any time.
Yeah. Okay. So when I was working at that building company, you go to a lot of parties and you basically meet a lot of porn stars. Okay. And you get used to that kind of lifestyle to where everything kind of seems almost disposable, right? For years and years and years, you'll deal with basically the hottest little girls that they're famous, and then a few years later a new style jumps up and keeps going and going and going, to where I think kind of acclimates you to not really wanting something permanent, because you're just getting the latest and greatest all the time.
The FOMO effect.
Yeah.
Well, and that's a big problem with Seeking too.
Yeah, this
What
is
you gotta
very
talk
good.
about is like the next shiny object.
Yeah.
And I'll message 5 girls and I'll be talking to them. And then all of a sudden another shiny object pops up. And then I completely forget even who I was even talking to. I've already moved on, and I feel bad because it's so, me having ADHD already, it doesn't help anything that they're just new ones to popping up left and right. Just bam, 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 bam.
Right.
It's tough.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's tough to actually focus in on one person or two people.
Yeah.
That's so interesting. I love your honesty and your perspective, being able to look back and kind of see how that shaped how you behave in relationships. I'm glad we stuck.
Yeah, me too.
You're listening to Secrets of a Sugar Daddy. Now back to the show with your host, Marcus.
For those in recovery, support from friends and family often leads to better outcomes. Here's to those who are essential to helping people find their path to recovery. Visit cdc.gov/stop-overdose for information about treatment options and how to support those experiencing addiction.
Did you ever meet Charlie Phoenix?
I've never even heard of Charlie Phoenix until this very moment, but I would love to know who this guy is.
Oh,
No,
Charlie
no,
Phoenix is a female porn star.
Oh.
Yeah, she plays the MILF role and everything.
She's been on our show. She's an epic squirter.
Okay.
She had the same sugar daddy as Amy for
Yeah.
a while there.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. She's an
And
interesting one. She went with you and
went with-
Alejandra to Vegas.
Yeah, we did actually a video podcast there with Action Junkies. John Orlando, he's Tony Orlando's son,
Okay.
the famous singer. But anyway, we did a podcast there, and Kimmy was supposed to go, and she backed out right at the last second. She would have been fantastic. Kimmy would have captivated that
Stolen
room.
the show.
But anyway, we ended up taking Charlie Phoenix, and she got to where she was, I say arguing, but debating.
It got a little
back-
heated.
It got a little heated back with some of the people. And so it was going back and forth. So me and Alejandro are sitting there going, okay, this thing is derailed. Oh my God, how do we get it back on the rails, right? But I mean, it was okay. They got a lot of clips out of it. So if you go to their Instagram, quite a few clips from our little segment there on their show. But yeah, she was an interesting person. Oh, one of the funniest things though is when we were in studio, it was me and Kimmy and Charlie Phoenix, and you weren't there, Lily.
No, Kimmy wasn't there. You mean
Kimmy was there because
she
we
was?
did an interview with her, and then all of a sudden, Charlie Phoenix pulled down her shirt
Oh,
and
yes, I
showed
was
us
not
her
there.
enormous breasts.
That
and
was
Kimmy
here. Wasn't that here?
It was in Pod Populi, but it was when we were in the other
old Pod
location.
Populi.
And
She flashed
that's
her
funny.
boobs.
yeah, and the sound producer was like, he was just
What is happening?
Yeah, and Kimmy
Well, in
is
that
like,
one,
oh my
you can
God.
see everybody from the sidewalks and stuff.
Well, you
as
can. There wasn't anybody looking in the window, but that was a pretty epic moment.
Why did she do
Podcasting
that?
history. We got to talking about something, and
Breast size?
I don't know. And she just pulled them out, and we're all just like, okay, where do we go from here?
I forgot about that. No, I wasn't there.
Yeah, I forgot about that. Well, I don't know what even brought that up, but she was an interesting guest.
It makes her memorable.
Yeah. Oh, definitely. She looks like Marilyn Monroe. That's the look that she takes on, and she pulls it off really well.
Nice. That sounds hot.
The whole Marilyn Monroe look. But anyway,
You guys have met each other's families. Everything's simpatico.
Yeah.
Do they know? I know his parents don't know, but does your family know that you guys are kind of into the swinging lifestyle?
Well, lucky for me, the only family that I have are my kids. So I don't have anyone to explain anything to.
Oh,
but your kids know all about it, right?
I wouldn't say that they know all about it. My oldest daughter, of course, she's like full adult and everything. She has a very good idea. We're very open. My younger daughter, not quite so much, but she definitely knows mom does not play by normal rules, you know? So we don't keep a lot of secrets in my house. I just don't feel like that's necessary. Granted, my youngest daughter is 16, so they're both older anyway.
I'm telling you, those girls are brilliant. I remember one time being at Kevin's house and the girls were over and you were over and we were all just kicking it. And the four of you start having this philosophical conversation. I'm like,
Yeah. Yeah.
am I the dumbest person in the
you.
room? I have a master's degree, but I feel like the dumbest person in the room.
Well, you were not.
And your
at all.
teenage daughters were far more brilliant than I could even keep up with.
Yeah. Well, you know, all the things that I spoke of in my episode 9 that I went through, you know, they went through that as well. And I think there just comes a certain time in life where you've just been through enough that keeping secrets just seems dumb.
Yeah.
Because you've hit real life. You've seen and felt real life, and it is real life, and these things exist. So we try to be as open as possible, but mindful also of not making them feel uncomfortable in any way or anything like that. But they definitely know that my view on relationships is much different than a traditional housewife view now, or the view that I had previously.
Yeah.
And it works. And they're very strong in their relationships with men and with other people. And I think that having that example of being in control and being empowered by your sexuality has been a really good example for them. Even if it wasn't in full on conversation, they've seen the effects of that.
Now, you guys don't live together, do you?
Oh, no.
Oh, no.
Oh,
he
no.
says.
No
I
way.
didn't mean to say it like that. No.
No.
He does have a roommate,
Oh, let's hear about the roommate.
and we're going to call her,
Oh, you have female roommate.
yes, it's very platonic.
Well,
She's
of
literally
course.
my best friend in the whole universe. We're just like this fun, little, fantastic family. It is the best thing in the whole world. And so that plays into him and I being able to live together because that's her home as well. And then I really love still being independent and having my space, especially while I have a child at home. So at least until she goes to college.
Yeah. Well,
just-
there's no rush.
Yeah.
No rush. for
Well,
you
I
guys
think
to-
for some relationships, it's a lot healthier to live apart because it keeps the magic alive. You know, you don't
Yeah.
hear your partner go into the bathroom and they're not there
In your
24/7.
way. Just still sometimes like being alone.
Yeah.
Same.
Sometimes I just want to be in my room, vegging on my phone with nobody expecting anything from me, throwing my dogs snacks or whatever. And I think, Eric, maybe you appreciate that.
Oh, I need a lot of alone time
Yeah. Yeah.
just to
That's
think
cool.
about things.
Well, another episode that you have starred in that I recommend for anybody, but especially people that are new or thinking about doing sugar dating or just have a lot of questions, is episode 32. I don't know if you remember that, but you did that one with Taylor, and then we did it
Yes.
with Sabrina.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
And
Yeah.
it was a
Yeah.
question. You remember that day when she was just asking lots of questions, and
was
we're
so
like, "Oh my God,
impromptu.
why don't you just come on the show and ask these questions because you don't know anything about this?" And that is such a special episode
was
that
fun.
anytime I get letters or emails or questions from people like, "Hey, I'm thinking about getting into this on your podcast. You have so many episodes. Which one should I start with?" I tell them episode 32.
I think the one thing from the beginning of when I even started doing the podcast with you until now is I was always such a big promoter of, look, being a sex worker or being a sugar baby or whatever you want to call it, it's not something that diminishes us as a woman unless we carry that into it. It can be a very empowering thing. You have the opportunity to meet so many new people who are way outside of the scope of what you would meet around you at the grocery store, here or there, or even on a regular dating site. It's an opportunity to feel empowered by your sexuality and what you hold as a woman. And it's a place where you can, if you do it right, use the financial benefits of sugar dating to empower yourself. I always said I do this because I want to grow my business, because I want to be financially independent. I want to be that example to my kids. I want to do these things on my own. And now I have a very successful business that I've grown, and I have a great relationship. And I think that people look at this lifestyle and they just see unhealthy, detriment, breaking up marriages, breaking up relationships. How can they respect themselves? And it is so the opposite of that when you go into it with great mentors and people like you to learn from, and you go into it with the right mindset. And sometimes, that comes with learning. I've definitely made mistakes. I think all of us have. We learn as we go. But it can be such a beautiful thing.
I agree. Lily, I think on that, we're going to wrap it up.
Yeah.
That was
I'm
fantastic.
curious, do either one of you listen to the show?
I do occasionally.
Yeah.
So, but I feel like, yeah, especially because every once in a while I'll see like something on Facebook pop up or social media pop up, or like Alexa will call me like, "Oh, did Did you listen to the podcast?
She's an avid listener. She never misses an episode.
I just love her. I'm so glad we met her.
Oh my God. I've read some letters that she wrote me in and I almost had to censor them. They're crazy. She's quite descriptive.
She's spicy.
We like having her a part of the family, certainly.
Has she been on the podcast?
No.
Well, why
We need
not?
to get her.
Because she works all day, so it's hard for her to make time.
She did request for you and her to come on one time, but the timing wasn't good
We'd have
or
to
something.
do-
I'll see if we can
Yeah,
make it
we'd
work.
have to do evening
I'm gonna
or
message her right now.
weekend.
We'd love to have both of you on because, oh my God, you guys could tell us some stories. Holy cow.
I'm like looking for her phone number.
Yeah. Well, anyway, if you guys want to share your crazy sugar dating stories, go to our website, secretsofasugardaddy.com. Send them to us. We love hearing those. We love having you as a guest. So if you're interested in sharing those, we can do Zoom, in person. A lot of people actually fly out to Scottsdale, Arizona and come in the studio. And we have a great time when they do that. It's always better
Yeah, I think
to do
so.
it face to face. So if you're in position to do that, we'd love to have you. I even have some Airbnbs that I could set you up in or whatever. And then we'll take you out to dinner and I mean, just have a lot of fun. But we always love our guests. And then Patreon, don't forget to go there. I'll have a link to it at the bottom of this description. Join our family. It's free. And then if you want to open up the entire site, it's only $10 a month. Very, very cheap. Then we got some profile reviews and coaching options there too. And then I guess finally, come see us at Sugarpalooza 5. Get those applications in. We need to finalize everybody that's coming so we can get all the details taken care of. It's a lot of work, isn't it, Lily? But you got some help coming in early this year.
I have some people coming in early to help me.
I have to say, I know everyone has probably already said this on every podcast since the Sugarpalooza that just went down. It was the most well-hosted event I think I have ever been to in my life.
Aw.
Thank you.
Every little tiny little last touch was thought of.
It was amazing.
It was so fun. And you, Lily, I mean, swing bat out of the park.
Thank you.
She did hit a home run.
We put a lot of time and
was
planning and
amazing.
effort, and that's quite time consuming beforehand, but it's so nice when some of the girls fly in early and help me pull together all the shopping and the food and whatnot. I pre-plan everything and then they come in and do the work like little workhorses.
I know, because I have these grandiose plans of how it's going to look and we're going to pull this off, but I don't have time to do all this. And Lily's just kind of behind the scenes, and I don't really know what she's doing, but I know she has my credit card, and things are starting to add up. But I know things are getting done, and then all of a sudden, it just like magic comes together. So without Lily, this thing could not happen, and we couldn't appreciate her more.
It was the 1942 with the Secrets of a Sugar Daddy logo on it.
How
I think
cool is that?
Did it for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That actually
was-
was a gift to us from the Blue-Eyed Princess from New Jersey.
Yeah.
That was cool.
Wasn't that neat?
Yeah.
She made bracelets and then, shot glasses.
She did the lanyards this time.
And I've actually got T-shirts that she had made from the last time. Matter of fact, I need to
Who did
send
the
some of those out.
cookies that had our logo?
That was,
like sugar iced on these cookies.
I want to say her real name. Lynn. That was Lynn.
Yeah.
That was fabulous.
Dr. JJ's wife.
She was in the bakery business before, so she had an inside track on how to big batch
so
cookies. And I ate those for like 3 weeks after, because we put them in like little baggies and they're sitting in my house. And here I am trying to lose weight from the whole damn thing. And I just keep munching on cookies all day because I work from home.
Literally sugar cookies.
Yeah.
Oh, terrible.
That boss babe is currently in law school.
Yeah, she
That's
started law
amazing.
school.
In Texas.
See?
And her sugar daddy is
Empowering.
paying for the whole thing. So, I mean,
Her sugar daddy husband.
Yeah. We
They're
just
married.
Wait, do you still stay a sugar? Are you still my sugar daddy?
Yes.
You
always.
stay.
Yeah.
I think Trucker's still my sugar daddy. We
I
tease
like
about
that.
it.
Yeah, absolutely.
And when my daughter wants
I
something,
still definitely get sugared a lot.
Yeah.
That has not stopped.
when my
so.
daughter wants something, she's like, Mom, can you get this for the grandkid's birthday? I'm like, that is very expensive. She's like, just ask your sugar daddy.
Yeah. Alejandra gets the same thing. Like they tease her, like, well, just what are you and your sugar daddy up to?
Yeah.
Even though we haven't formally admitted that to them yet, but
All right.
I think they know. How are we going so long?
We better
gotta
wrap it up.
Anyway, Angie and Eric, pleasure having you in today.
Yay.
Yeah, that was a fun surprise. I didn't realize Eric was coming along.
That was a last minute
So
addition.
great.
Yes, it was great. Thanks.
Yeah. And we look forward to getting you and Alexa on.
Yeah, I'll make it work.
Make it work.
Even the three of you, I'll bow out
Oh,
gracefully.
yeah, because
Yeah.
I wonder if there's any way she could do next week because I'm in Nashville.
I'll ask.
Yeah.
That'd be good.
I'll kidnap her from work.
Do
All
it.
right, let me know. Okay. We've got to go. Talk to you soon.
Bye.
Bye.
Thanks for joining us. If you'd like to connect or even be on the show, we'd love to hear from you at secretsofasugardaddy.com.